Come on, everybody, let's start the show. A quick ahoy hoy and away we'll go. Richard's got a minifig and Flynn's got a pin. The gang's all here and it's time to begin. Trickybricks roll call. Moto, Holly, Kara, and sometimes Blair, Clicky, Logan, Ms. Thing and Angela, and Thunderman Ho! Now you're here to grab your bricks and let's go to the Trickybricks Build Chat show!
No, it wasn't.
Oh my God, really? We were going to fake you out that the mic wasn't working.
It wasn't really working.
And then it really wasn't. Oh my goodness. Well, it's got to be an anniversary show. Oh my gosh, Flynn.
Hey, that's the kickoff, man.
We were sitting here talking without making any sound, thinking.
Yeah, like we were literally pretending that the mic wasn't on, and then I looked down, and then it was on.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome, friends. Ahoy hoy.
Yes, yes, Blair, that was off purpose.
Oh my goodness.
We're nothing if not consistent.
See, why do you think they call us Tricky Bricks? Or
Oh
Tricky folks?
my goodness. Anyway, hi everybody. It's well, my glasses are all fogged up on the one side. It's because I'm sweaty. Hooray. I know. Hooray. There we go. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. It is episode 730.
730. That's a lot of hoy hoy.
That is a lot. And it's a lot of it's a lot of Logan cookie times.
All that.
And yeah, it's a lot of things.
A lot of chat.
Oh my goodness. And I feel weird. I'm wearing a gray shirt today. Like I feel like I should go change into either something colorful or a black shirt just to be just to do a thing.
Be proper here.
But before that, we are going to invite on our guests for today. A couple of them
patiently in the green room, dancing with their hands.
From across the bay, an award-winning hand dancer. It is Minifigchick. Hi, Kara.
Hi, Kara.
Hey.
Award-winning as in I just gave you the award. So, you know.
I am so honored. I'd like to thank the Academy, my producers, Logan.
And next up, from the, just to go back to an old one, the middle left-hand side of the country, it's Moto.
Hello from the middle left-hand side of the country.
I'm just getting them all in there.
Sure.
Getting them all in there.
Middle left-hand works.
Mm-hmm. And surprising everyone that she's here, even though it's daylight savings time.
It's Holly. Hi, Holly.
We made it.
Barely.
I am nothing if not reliable.
Okay, like fess up. You actually slept in that chair last night.
I admit nothing.
That's awesome.
Do I
Hey,
look like
the
that?
Hornburgers are here! Yay! Hi, ahoy, hoy, Hornburgers! Oh my goodness, it's been so long. We missed you. How fun! Oh my goodness. Well, I am going to. I need to change shirts because I feel not.
What, a little extra casual?
I feel not right. I feel a little too cash. Oh, hooray!
I came this close to wearing that shirt today, and then I realized pink really is not my color.
Yes. Well, here is okay. So this is the burning question I know that everybody has had. It doesn't matter about the anniversary. It doesn't matter about anything else. The real question that everyone is wondering is, did Holly touch the curtains?
We don't
First
talk
rule about
the
Curtain Club.
To be fair,
Oh,
we
my
kind of
goodness.
had to.
Well, I mean, how could really? Because really, how could you not at that point? You had been, like kind of goaded into it. I think.
Yeah, we
Um,
actually did have to walk through the curtains, so it was really hard to not like at least like brush it, you
They
know?
didn't open them for you.
I mean, it was opened like a little bit, like a little crack that you could
Yeah. Oh,
kind of-
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
I
Very
tried pretty
good.
hard.
Well, hey, so let's start off with a good old tradition. It's time for pins. 730 pins later for some of
I
us.
think I have a new one. I think I have one. you haven't seen.
So Cara, why don't you go first?
Okay. Because we love you guys so much. Sticky hands. Heart.
Very good. All right, Holly. Sorry, I'm trying to sneak away and change my shirt while we're doing this. So
Just put
Promise.
just put your hoodie on. That's what I do. Okay. Nothing on theme. I just tried to find something potentially new that maybe you guys haven't seen. I don't think I've shown this one. This is the one from Kubo. This is Mr. Monkey or
Oh, I
Mr.
haven't seen that one.
Monkey from Kubo.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. It's another one of those little postcards that I picked up at the Academy Museum in LA.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
How fun. Just a little flex there at the Academy Museum when we were at the Academy. Well, and
Anybody
next
can
up.
go. It's open to the public, by the way.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Don't
Well,
have
next
to be a
up we've
member. You
got-
just get in for free if you're a member.
Oh, flex.
I'm not a member. My husband's a member.
Next up, we've got Moto.
I have some pins from work. So this is the Weber Managed Service Protectors. They are out to secure your cybersecurity. I especially like the disc, so you can tell this is an older
Yep.
thing. But my favorite is Malware Wolf. Everybody
That's
loves
awesome.
Malware Wolf.
Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. What was it we just heard that record albums have exceeded CD sales for the first time in many years?
What?
Yeah.
Like
Vinyl.
40
We just
years.
heard that vinyl.
Really?
Vinyl outsold CDs.
I guess that doesn't really surprise me because I mean, what are CD sales these days? Like 10 a year?
Yeah, and who has a CD drive anymore? That's so crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have
yeah.
computers with no drive. I bought an external because I thought I needed it, and I don't need CDs.
No, yeah, it's all
So-
digital.
I have the need because my son, Mr. Meow, I got him a disposable film camera. And when you get them developed these days, they don't send the negatives. They only send scanned images on a CD. the pictures.
Not even a USB drive.
Oh.
No, USBs are too expensive.
Oh, our film shop would not do that. They would definitely send you your film back.
Yeah, Walgreens is not your local film shop.
No,
Yeah.
it is not.
No.
Highest quality development, but he liked it. So he
No.
finally got to use a film camera and see what it was like to have to wait for everything and not know how it's going to turn out for weeks and weeks.
Yeah.
And think about your shots because you only have 24 or 36. to
Yeah,
go.
he had
Guys, did you know
Yeah.
they're selling Polaroid film again?
Oh,
Yes,
they
who
do
was
that.
it? You know someone who was just taking Polaroids.
Our niece.
Yes.
Or niece.
Yes, and it's funny. They start. I feel like they start making Polaroid film again, like every 5 to 10 years. It's like a cycle.
It's pretty terrible, to be fair. I picked up some because I do have an old Polaroid 660, and I saw some film at Target, and I was like, I should see if that camera's still working, right? So I put some film and I took a couple of shots. It's pretty terrible. You need so much light. I don't know if that film is ISO 20 or what is going on, but it's you need an excessive amount of light to really get anything out of it. So
You got to
we'll
shoot
see.
out outside in the sun.
Yep,
Pretty much.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I used to do a lot of sea kayaking, and I would take disposable underwater cameras with me.
I've done that. I've shot those. They're usually pretty bad too.
Yeah, well, you need
Blurry
a lot of light for that, for sure.
Hey, well, guess what? We also have pins.
We do.
Pins.
Let's do those.
What is
Well, we
that
had to
about
wait for
pins?
Clicky to come around the corner to help us
Yeah.
focus.
And help, yeah. Clicky did a lot backstage while Clicky was getting ready.
Well, I've got
Hang on,
Yay.
Oswald.
Clicky is late. There
There we go. Oswald in pink. Pretty cheerful today.
I was gonna. I tried to find a pink shirt. I'm sorry, I could not find one in the quick times. But I do. This is a throwback to one of my first pins that I showed because it's so freaking good. Let's see if I can make this happen. Oh yes,
There it is.
so this pin that I got at Disneyland.
Who could it be?
Yay.
Oh wow.
Nice.
It's Hook.
Yeah, and it says Captain of Bad on it.
So cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. So yay, Captain Hook. And I just wanted to show. I wanted to show you this because I'm proud of this. I just like grabbed for the first T-shirt I could find, and because I was just like grabbing, and I happened to get a shirt that I know Holly will appreciate. I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm sure some others will too. But the reason that this is so special to me is not only is it cool, but it's in pristine condition from when I bought it in 2006 because I could not fit it when I bought it, but I can fit in it today.
Nice. Yay.
So this is very
Yay, good
exciting.
job, Flynn.
this is very exciting. I'm wearing my Dr. Girlfriend T-shirt
Wow.
from
Cool.
from Venture Brothers.
And if you haven't seen the Venture Brothers, it's a hoot. It's great.
It's a favorite. So yeah, they actually had like a T-shirt club for a while, Venture Brothers T-shirt club, and this was the only one I was able to end up getting. But it was, I mean, come on, Dr. Girlfriend.
And Dr. Girlfriend has that deep man voice.
I love Dr. Girlfriend. A favorite. But anyway, so yeah, that's a big. So you know, big things. I fit into this tiny T-shirt, and there's like we're at our anniversary, and yeah. So now is the time, friends, to say hello in the chat. So we can give you a little shout out for our 3-year anniversary shout out. Reading through some of these names that we've said 730 times.
It's the
which
start
is
of
amazing.
Start of season 3.
What's this? Sure.
No, wait. Start of season 4.
Start of season 4 because
Yeah.
we've completed 3. It's that
Yeah, season
Right.
4, and we've got some. I did make the list of top 10 shows that have had less ones, and here's what's interesting is that if you just go by scripted shows, there are hardly any that have met the 730 benchmark. So I had to kind of open it up to reality shows. And what's really funny is the ones that, like, when you see the list, you're going to laugh because it's all either really old shows or reality shows,
Yeah.
which I don't know what that says about our like modern TV viewing.
Are we a really old reality show?
We are really old. Reality show. I guess, yeah, we're kind of in that Venn diagram
Yeah.
of like in between. It's ridiculous. So
Well,
yeah,
we're the
there you
Golden
go.
Girls of reality shows.
Well, we passed up Golden Girls episodes, I think, on our 2-year show.
We did.
Yeah, that was. I remember
I
that
feel
one
like it
was on
should
there.
have been the other way around. You should have been looking for episodes or shows that have had as many episodes as we have.
Well, right, but even that is like the 700 zone is a weird zone because they're either like in the thousands or they're in the under 700s.
Oh,
There
I see
was
what
like
you
not a
mean.
whole lot, and of course the ones that are in the thousands are like talk shows, those kinds of things that are like on every single night for years and years. Like the Tonight Show has some ridiculous number of shows.
Or like
Just
or like
Happy
60
Meal.
minutes. 60
yeah.
minutes. I remember watching the television when I was super young, and 60 minutes.
So what I'm hearing you say is we made it past the breaking point. So we're like, it's gonna last forever, right?
Sure. Well, we're still gonna. You'll see when we go there. You'll see the list. I think you'll still get a kick out of it, but it's just not quite as fun as some of our former lists. I'll just say that. I mean, I only say that because despite appearing on one, I don't really like reality shows. So it was like,
well, you don't like many of them, right? We watched Project Runway for a while.
Yeah, sure. I liked that, but mostly because, ridiculous fashion and a chance to see like super gay guys on camera.
I'm worried.
There weren't
I'm really worried.
Oh no, I'm worried. Designers. I know I had to try really hard not to say that when I was walking around like the Lego campus. Like I wanted to go into the office and be like, I'm worried, designers. But yeah, no. So, okay. I know I sent a little link to a friend who's going to be joining us. Okay. He just said that they are running.
Skittles, you are way
running
early.
a few minutes late. That's great. So we do have a guest today, and I'm not sure I invited a few people, and we'll see who shows up. But I know one of them for sure is coming that we will see here shortly. Which you saw in the description. Actually, it's Bricks O'Brien, who has been a frequent guest on the show, not in a little while, but in an exciting turn of events, I actually got to hang out with Brian and Nick and Stacy from Lego Masters Season 3 in San Francisco. They were in San Francisco, and we got to go hang out, and it was super fun. And we had a great time. I took them to a San Francisco oddity called Musée Mécanique, which is a museum of arcade machines from the turn of the century. So like they're very different from the arcade machines.
A lot of automata, right?
Yeah, and it was very funny watching the it was very funny watching I call them the kids. It was very funny watching the kids look at the and now he's hearing me say this because he's in the green room.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get to say this all before you arrive. But here he is, everybody. Our special guest, Bricks O'Brien. Hi, Brian.
Oh,
Long time no see. I was on. So now I'm getting into the tax time, and I was on the phone with the accountant, and I'm the second I stopped talking to him, bam, I hear you talking about the covert mission that was unfolding.
I just figured you're celebrating Mario Days for 72
You
hours
were.
straight,
Oh, I don't think he's celebrating that right now, but we'll get to that. I need to make the Brian's hot take banner.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Because
I haven't had many hot takes recently. I've been watching all the new stuff come out, and the newest Mario stuff. I'm like, Yeah,
well, we'll talk about that in a minute. I've got pictures. We're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But we are going to first say hi to everybody who's in the chat. So let's do that.
I'll have to type it again. It's been too long.
Yeah, I know. Everybody, yeah, you're right. It's like it has depopulated. So everybody say hi again. all of you, all 38 of you say hi so we make sure that we see everybody.
Autocorrect.
Okay, so the this list is really fun. I'm gonna queue up this list so that we can go over it once we say hello to everybody, because it's an interesting list. Whoop. Oh, sorry. I hate when they add extra steps to just to open the folder. It's not that hard.
It's a PC.
Yeah, I know. It's a PC. They have to make everything extra difficult. So let's go say hi to everybody who's in the chat. We've got Alexander 23Z. Hello. Has been with us for a long time. Brickaroo Bonsai as well. Bricks EDU Blair Archer in the chat. Maybe
Hi,
soon on the
Blair.
screen. We will see. Chaz's Brick Builds. Hello. Darren Siegfried. Debo Bricks. Fabufan MKE. All people who've been here like almost every single episode.
Yep.
I don't know how you do it. Honestly. And we've got
Heather Mraz is here.
Yeah, we got Heather Mraz. See you later is here. Hello. Another somebody we haven't seen in a little while. Hi. Holly is here in the chat. Isaac Wilder, John Luttrell, and Vicky. Hello. Catherine Harmon, Lego Don, and I assume probably Phil as well. Hello. We got Lisa Head, another one. Maraid is here. Look at this. Like the whole family, the whole gang is in the chat today. And that's actually kicking off the Emscapades. We've got Maraid, Marilyn Parmley, Matthew Builds Bricks, Minifigchick, Minifig Nick, Monica Berry, and Moto. That's like the old school list. That's amazing.
More than a haiku.
That's fantastic. I love that. Oliver is here. Sam Harmon. I'm assuming Cat 2. Hello. Smoke Up Johnny. I'm sorry we didn't get to meet yesterday. We got Spot the Magic Ninja. The Hornburgers. Ahoy, hoy, Hornburgers. So happy to see you. And bonsoir to Wilfred. And of course, to Kim Zarakina, wherever you may
are.
be.
Well, that's a proper Sunday brunch, I'd say.
I would say so. I would say so. So let's see. I've got why is chat's being weird?
Can I just make a point real quick?
Please.
As we're here on the 3-year anniversary, for anybody that hasn't met Flynn in person before, the mutton chops are so impressive in person. So I can't tell the context of why the why I was existing in the same plane of existence, but as I was walking toward Flynn, it looked like you were in like a 1980s like heartthrob movie, just like sitting there with the coffee in front of the location, like stirring around, looking at your watch. You're like, where's this Bricks O'Brien guy? It's like it's an experience unlike anything else that anyone has ever had before. So I just want to make that known publicly. If you haven't seen Flynn in real life, you have to. It's an experience.
Good job with the
There you go.
shots.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, if everybody's going to be, if anybody's going to be in Chicago, you may experience the chops in real time.
Yes, it won't be that much longer. I know. I'll be there. I don't know about anyone else on the panel or chat, but
Chicago's going to be a party.
I think everybody, but Holly, right? You're not going.
Not
Yeah,
this
I think
year,
Holly,
sorry.
clear the calendar. What are we doing?
A lot of obligations this year.
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you.
I know obligations. Trust me. I'm multi-quadrillion-dollar deals now with the inflation. You got to clear that calendar. It's Brickworld Chicago. It's the event of the century.
Okay, so I've been to Brickworld Chicago. How many times have you been to Bricks Cascade?
Oh,
Twice.
She was talking to me, Moto. You're obviously the regular over in Cascade. She's throwing the shade on me specifically. I'll look at my calendar. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. So before this descends into madness, well, too late. So we are going to go over the top 10 shows that have had less, or slightly less episodes as the Trickybricks Build Chat at 730 episodes, including this one. Now, again, once you start looking at it's amazing to me that there's not more modern shows on this list that aren't reality shows. But hey, that's the way it goes. All right, so here is the list. Coming in at number 10 at 531 episodes, we have Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
There you go.
Dun, dun.
Wow, that's
Dun,
a lot
dun.
of victims.
I know. And sometimes multiples. So
Wow, it's a troubled city. That city is almost as troubled as Lego
City. It's just maybe more murders.
Is that like a specific series of Law and Order?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It is. There's many of them. There's like many different ones, and this is just the longest running one. And not only that, but it is the longest running scripted, I believe, police procedural show that in existence. So there you go. All right. So now we're going to go into the Wayback Machine for this next one.
Who remembers this one? Logan does.
Logan does. It's Lassie.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
with 591 episodes. It
Yeah,
went.
Lassie went on for so long. I'm surprised a dog could live as long as
It
that series
didn't.
was on the air.
I think there were multiple Lassies. I hate to break it to everybody
Yeah.
out there.
And their name may have been Lassie, but Lassie was a boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Also true.
so anyway, Lassie ran from the 50s to the 70s. And that's something else to note here, too, that I wanted to say is almost all of these shows have, some of them not quite as many as us, have been running for 20 years.
Oh my gosh.
So, or have run for 20 years.
So basically, you're saying we age 7 years every time a Trickybricks anniversary comes out.
That's exactly what happens.
Basically.
It's like some
Like
kind of
Lassie. Same
kind
thing.
of weird leap year, like dog years, like Lassie years.
Yep, lots of years.
Okay, so next up, with 602 episodes, I don't know if anybody, well, I'm sure people remember this because I think it was going not too long ago. Unsolved Mysteries.
Unsolved Mysteries.
602 episodes of Unsolved Mysteries. That's a lot of unsolved mysteries.
That is.
I feel like
I hope they solved some of them.
I was gonna say I feel like
They
there's a sequel to be made there.
Well, yeah, solved mysteries.
Yes.
No, they
one
did.
that
They
got
solved.
away.
I think they solved a few while they were on the air.
Okay, so next up, with 614 episodes, The Real World.
Oh wow.
Oof.
And this is The Real World, San Francisco, one of the originals there.
And unlike a lot of shows, this would have a different cast every season. Right?
Yes, and this was, I believe, I want to say, the guy on the left, Puck, the blonde guy, was reality TV's first villain.
Hmm.
He was like
That's true.
the bad guy.
I
Like
remember that.
he kicked off, many reality show villains for the future.
I was gonna say, I mean, this is what started it all.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all his fault.
Love it or hate it. This is this is it.
It's not enough mutton chops.
Yeah, clearly. All right. So here we go, back into the Wayback Machine again, with 635 episodes. Gunsmoke.
Smoke.
Oh wow.
Westerns were the thing.
Yes, it was. They were a huge thing. Big Valley, Gunsmoke. What was the one with
Bonanza.
Yeah, Bonanza. There you go. They were very popular, and this was just before, like, Star Trek came in.
Mm-hmm.
And like turned everything sci-fi. We went from westerns to sci-fi, and then there was the bridge, Wild Wild West.
Oh, I love Wild Wild.
Oh yeah.
Show, the sci-fi western show. All right, here we go.
What is her name with the parasol?
Miss Kitty?
Miss Kitty.
Yeah, who was? I mean,
She had a heart of gold.
like apparently every like pretty woman who ever existed in the West was like a brothel owner.
Yeah.
Apparently, according to television.
She had a heart of gold.
Yeah. All right. Next up, a more modern one, but only 2 episodes more, believe it or not, with 637 episodes. Survivor.
Who's gonna
Oh,
get
wow.
kicked off?
I know, another sort of like leader in reality shows. This was like, I think those were the big 2 really, Survivor and The Real World, which eventually gave birth to things to other shows that we will talk about. So anyway,
Okay.
yeah.
Before you go on, Fabby
Yeah.
Fan MKE says that his great grandmother ran a brothel.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
She must have been very pretty.
I don't know how Survivor is going on for so long and people like haven't gotten sick of it. I would be more interested in seeing more Amazing Race. Is that still on?
I think
knows?
I don't know if it's still on, but I don't know that. I think I don't know, with like Survivor and those kinds of like things. It's this, and like with the Amazing Race, it's this toss up between like people being horrible to each other and people helping each other out.
That's true.
Mhm.
Well, but like, how many islands can they go to? Like, where else are they going to find more islands? There's a lot of locations in the world, but like
It's
they're running
true.
low on islands.
I mean,
No, it's just the same island, man.
I was gonna say
Is it the
that's
same
what,
island?
Yeah.
That's what VFX artists are for.
Nice.
It's then in future generations, it'll be Metaverse Survivor, and it's just everyone stuck with a headset on,
That's
being
exactly
drip fed
what
water.
forever. Yep.
Who can survive?
Or streaming Survivor. That could happen now.
you guys would make it at least 3 years because you
At
made it
least.
already. So
At
you know,
least.
just give you the crown.
Who can survive the longest in the metaverse without a bathroom break?
There you go.
There's also plenty of room for
It's called
crossover.
filibuster.
There could be like, you know, unsolved survivors or whatnot.
Unsolved survivors.
Okay, now coming in at number 7. This is my personal favorite on the list, just because reasons.
We both watched this with our families back when, right?
Forcibly, yes. Coming in at 655 episodes. Anybody care to venture a guess?
It's
No
It's not
guesses.
MASH, right?
Love Boat, maybe?
Oh no! Oh, look who's
Mash.
here, Blair.
Mash?
Hi, Blair.
Ahoy, hoy.
Hey.
You are coming out of Survivor. Get out of IKEA.
Smoke Up Johnny's been nailing those great comments for
I
3
know. I know.
years now.
Okay. And Wilford points out the problem nowadays is finding an island that doesn't that without any reality show going on. That's true.
That's true.
Oh, Lego Don, that's a good
Okay.
guess. Lawrence Welk is a really good guess.
Yeah, it's a good one. But the actual answer is kind of the opposite of Lawrence Welk.
It's
Hee-haw.
Yeah.
What is this?
with
Brian.
It's
Hee-haw?
with
Oh my
Brian.
gosh.
Roy
Oh,
This is
Hee-haw.
Brian,
like
my
Hee-haw
sweet summer
Technicolor.
child. So this is from the 60s and 70s, and they musical variety shows were very popular back then. We had tons of them. Donnie and Marie had a show. Cher had a show.
Mhm.
We had there was a Lawrence Welk show, like the American Bandstand. Well, this was the country version
It was horrible.
Hee-haw. That's
called
great.
Hee Haw,
It was
and that
horrible.
was Buck Owens and Roy Clark. Those are the two guys with the instruments in the front, and it was a country. Like it was basically the country version of Laugh-In with music, and you probably
Yeah.
don't know what Laugh-In is
Yeah, they
either,
had
but that's
a lot
okay.
of skits. There was a lady who always wore Minnie Pearl always wore a hat with her
With the
Yeah.
price tag still on it.
preceding the ball cap with the sticker on.
Yes,
it
by many years.
was Minnie Pearl with her tag on her hat.
Yeah, and they would do music and really bad comedy, and then they birthed their own sort of like cast of characters. There was the guy on the left
dress
with the
too.
folded arms was Junior Samples.
Yep.
And then there was Lulu and
God, I
Grandpa.
can't believe you remember all of this. Like my grandmother used to watch
Yeah.
like reruns of this stuff, and
Okay, well, first
Well,
of all,
we were
we're
little
older
kids.
than you, and
Yeah,
we're little kids, and we were like literally when I went to go visit my grandparents,
yeah.
this show was on
But that's what
every
I'm saying.
single
How do you even,
Sunday.
But like I haven't
Yeah.
seen
I
an
feel-
episode of this in like 20 years. Like, how do you remember all that?
I feel like
we
if they
can't
were gonna
remember
re-
what we had for breakfast,
But
we
I
can
remember
this.
Junior Samples and Minnie Pearl.
I
So
am
there
I was
you
gonna
go.
loving
say
that
Junior
yellow mini
Samples
dress.
these days would be auto-tune DJ. at a
It's
club.
true.
I do remember Minnie Pearl though. That's the only one I remember.
So,
Wilfred,
real quick,
who ran the brothel on this country? Well, and then now I know if you're not up on your 70s celebrities, this may not mean anything to you. But if you look there, right behind Roy Clark's shoulder, right there,
I know who that is.
that is Barbie
Barbie
Benton,
Benton.
who was a huge like model glamour girl of the 70s, and she got her start on Hee Haw. Look at those shoes. Those are amazing.
I'm more taken aback by the background that looks like red French fries, kind of all crossed over each other. For
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
reason.
well, that was all. It was fencing. It was all. Everything was like a barn.
Who
Like,
built the fence? That looks. I don't.
Yeah, it's fencing.
The 70s.
Junior Samples was sampling. He took samples and just stapled them on the back.
All right. So enough about that.
Kicked
I
by a
encourage
donkey
you to
sometimes.
look up Hee Haw, even if it's just for like find a clip and look. Oh, and they used to have a So one of their joke things was if you ever saw the '60s show Laugh-In, they had this thing where it's been copied many times in jokey ways, but they had this big wall with all these doors on it, and they would play music, and then somebody on the show would like open one of the doors, stick their head out, and tell like a really terrible joke or a pun.
Yep.
Like it was a thing. and the hee-haw version of it was a cornfield.
Cornfield.
And
Yeah.
they would like be ducked down and they would like pop up out of the cornfield. It was kind of like the cornfield that we went to see, Holly. Like the corn was only really up about to like chest level, and then they would tell a really terrible joke or a pun, and oh my goodness. Okay,
Corny jokes. They're all bad.
Yes, corny jokes, exactly. We've spent enough time, I think, on
Well, arguably more fun than our next one.
We've just given Brian so much anxiety.
Needs more cowbell. Yeah.
I'll never recover. What a great 3-year anniversary stream.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Hee-haw.
This next
Okay.
one had a villain of their own.
Yes, but this villain was so this was the first TV reality show villain who was a judge. Any guesses? This should be easy.
Judge Judy? No, she's not a villain.
No.
No.
I don't know.
Night Court?
American Idol.
Oh, yeah.
With Simon Cowell. He's not in this picture,
Wow.
but he
That
was
kinda
the
judge.
first reality TV show villain who was not on the stage, who wasn't a contestant, I think. We want to say that. So I'm so glad we don't have a villain. Maybe we need one. I don't know. Maybe we need a villain.
I mean, I'm already wearing the red. I can shift the tone of this place real quick. And you know what I think about Fabuland too? Overrated and old.
Hey, you just shut
him
your
off.
big mouth right now.
And here we
Fabiano.
go.
Shots fired.
Okay, so this next one for me is kind of a point of pride. So you know how we feel, or actually don't feel, about sports ball around here.
Sports ball. We're not
Coming
up, we're not up on the sports ball.
Oh, so by the way, Hee Haw had 655 episodes. American Idol had 664 episodes. This next one had 718 episodes.
Ooh.
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, there you go.
What?
I was thrilled to know that we've beat Monday Night Football for episodes. That makes me really happy for a really stupid reason.
Yep.
All right. And finally, with only one more episode than Monday Night Football, although that'll change soon, back to the reality shows. Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Big brother.
719 episodes. What is it about strangers shoved into an untenable situation that people find so fascinating?
I guess it just makes you feel better that you're not.
Yeah, totally.
I liked it better when it was totally scripted, like Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, since
right.
when was Big Brother taking place on an island with the Egyptian desert in the backdrop? I thought it was always in a house.
It is in an impossibly expensive house filled with cameras and secret rooms where they do all the editing.
Secret rooms, yes. Secret rooms. So that concludes, like I said, not as fun as some of our others, but it's funny, like once you start getting up. Now, I did get a list from Moto of the longest running like scripted shows. And even still, the only one that comes close, and I'm very proud of this, the only one that comes close is The Simpsons at 743 episodes. So they're 13 episodes ahead of us.
Yeah.
And from there, it goes down. Gunsmoke, Lassie, Law and Order Special Victims Unit, Regular Law and Order, NCIS. Oh, here's a good one. The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. And we all just
my
like, I'm just going to close the coffin now.
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
And let's see, Bonanza, we talked about before, Grey's Anatomy, and I am super proud of this one, Family Guy with 403 episodes.
Thank God. Thank God
We
for
kicked
that.
their butts
Yeah.
on that one.
And now nothing will ever catch up because it's all long form episodes.
You're right.
Like hour, 2 hour episodes.
Yes, Johnny, it's true. People love to watch train wrecks. That's why you keep coming here every week.
That's why I have a career too. It, you know,
Right?
Keeping us in business, y'all.
right.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Depot points out that there is a manga series that.
Oh yeah, manga,
then you're going
manga
into
anime
anime series.
Oh yeah, no,
nice.
I didn't go into. I basically stuck with U.S. shows, like U.S. produced shows. If we went out, I'd be naming all kinds of other things that I couldn't pronounce and embarrassing myself. So I opted.
One Piece, like Debo said, has 1,000 episodes. That is like
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. There was a lot of things, like when I was looking, there were lots of things with multi-thousand episodes. But again, they were like talk shows, soap operas, things that like play out, like The Young and the Restless, or had something like 4,000 episodes, something insane.
That never end.
Oh, so Oliver points out that Big Brother is the show that made Endemol shine. We might not have Lego Masters without it. That's true.
Mhm.
That is very true.
Well, it sounds like our direct competition is Law and Order. So we gotta start a series now that's like misdemeanors and disorder or something.
I don't know. Hee-haw. I aspire to hee-haw before I would aspire to
Yeah.
to Law
No,
and
I
Order.
don't want to be on a show that's felony and chaos. That would be a bad show.
I know. Next week, I need everybody to have a fake
Or maybe that's
cornfield
cops.
that they can
Maybe
put
that's
in front of
cops.
them.
Yeah, who knows?
Powder. My goodness.
To piggyback on Brian's thing too, I was like, Dragon Ball really sort of kicked off. I feel like the really long, overwrought like anime that just keeps going. And even if you total up all the Dragon Ball, it's like 664 episodes. So we beat them too.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
What about Naruto though?
I think
That's
that was
another one.
less, but I'm not sure.
I think Naruto might have us beat.
What about Kamen Riders? No one knows what I'm talking about. Okay.
What about Captain
Naruto
Kangaroo?
stopped at 500.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, friends, you know what? That has taken us to probably
Oh gosh.
the most popular
Wow.
segment of our show.
What's your
Hands
name for?
Wait, the part where we
down.
talk about Bionicle?
That's our cue. That's our
Don't
cue.
you? No. stop.
Yes, this is the part where we talk about Bionicle.
We have 3 people on the panel here who are very experienced with Bionicles.
It's true. It's true. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Sort of.
It is time, friends, for the 730th pause that refreshes. That's
a lot of
right, everybody.
cookies.
It's Logan Cookie time. Wow, he was extra ready
He's
today.
super ready. Hi, Logan.
Yay, Logan.
You're throwing mine.
Oh, all right. So everybody how you can catch. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Yay.
Good
And one
boy.
more into the mic because it's that kind of day.
It's with your sound of happiness. Good boy, Logan.
It looks like we also have some other guests. Who's this, Brian?
This is my crocheted cat from my book because I don't have
that's
a cat or dog.
Awesome. That's awesome. We got the cat. We've got Splishy and Splashy are here. And of course, a Logan. Oh, wait, what does that say?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, we have another guest too. Sorry, which one is this one again, Blair?
It's Buddy. He was
Buddy.
scratching his door endlessly. But look, Buddy. Treat. His favorite food is tape, so he likes sushi nori, but he's also a little freaked out right now.
So dainty.
And of
He's a
course,
Okay.
at this point, no, it would not be complete without Skittles with the weather.
He's being very impatient.
Oh.
And I'm gonna put this. I got to put this up because it was good. It was a good one. Let's see, where was it?
Ready? Yeah, show him how you can catch it, Skittles.
I'll get that one later.
Drew says Skittles failing to catch treat week after week is my favorite train wreck.
Oh, that was high. That was high. That throw. Oh, she tried.
Tried.
She tried.
That was close.
She tried on that one too. You gotta catch it.
Ryan.
You gotta catch it. Oh.
Oh, so close. Okay, one more
That was
try.
so close.
Okay, come on. You can do it. Ready? Catch it. Oh!
Hey, wow!
Yes!
Oh my
Wow!
gosh.
Hey, Skittles! Wow! I know. Goal!
No way.
Wow!
Skittles.
We were
caught
hoping.
one.
We were hoping that would happen today, and Skittles came through.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
Impressive. An anniversary miracle, says
Pushing the
Jason.
treat. Yay.
And that has been Logan Cookie Time.
I cannot believe it.
Of course, with an
Wow.
awesome animation by Yano River Blue.
Yeah, that's
You know,
awesome.
following up my goofy animations that I made for our first Times Out.
Sticker set show and tell.
Yeah. Okay. So you want to see a blast from the past? Oh no, wait, I don't have a blast from the past ready yet. Oh darn it. Well, here's a blast from the past. Even though if anybody has something, you can feel free. But here's one of the only original animations I have loaded in here right now. But let's take a look at this one.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Drew Dershell's comment.
Oh yes. Yeah, so that was not so much catching as successfully throwing a treat in his camera.
Woo! That was awesome.
Spot says, "Wait, did a pig
Wild
just
one.
fly past my window?" Oh my goodness! Hello, PT. Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness! Well, that was epic. I can't believe we actually saw that happen in our lifetime. I'm
Well, you guys have witnessed it many times, just not on camera.
In person with a longer throw.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, thing from the crypt. So I don't think I have the original thing from the crypt, but I do have the Yano redo of it, which here, let's show that one.
Yes. Awesome.
You know, I'm not sure. I think we need proof of life at this point that Ms. Thing and Angela are both still in existence.
Oh,
Because they have not been on camera forever.
because I was just thinking about going across the room and finding them. So
You need to take a photograph with today's newspaper.
yeah.
They've been retired much too long.
They've been returned to the mothership is really how it went. But yeah, here we go. There she is. There they are.
Oh,
Right.
there you go.
Sisters, never were there such devoted sisters. A little applause.
No, you can see they're holding our by our hands.
No, they're not. They're
They're magical entities,
It's
and
the,
still wearing their dots bracelets.
Nice. That's okay. We'll fix that in post.
yeah. Yeah.
everything.
We need to be wearing green gloves.
Rig removal team.
There you go.
Ready.
So yes,
I
they are.
did pick
they are
up a thing
here.
from the crypt the other day.
Oh yes.
I
Oh please
finished
do.
a trade for a mint open box copy
There you
of the Ice Planet base.
Whoa!
Nice.
Very nice.
Score.
Whoa!
Oh, it's so good.
All the parts are 100% fresh. This will feed into version 3 of the wearable helmet, which will have 2 quarter domes for an Ice Planet version. So
Whoa! Wow!
Very
That is
exciting.
awesome.
they're perfectly pristine. There's like 1 or 2 original little scratches. So very, very cool.
So I wanted to just mention, like we've been doing this for 3 years, and well, first of all, constantly amazed when I look back and think about like all those challenges, those build challenges that we did, and all of those watching some of our youngest builders who are now 3 years older, like through some of their first builds, how we had 2 members of the Tricky Lug family end up on Lego Masters season 2.
Mm-hmm.
How we have a cast member who's now becoming a Lego designer, like is going to Billund. Like I mean, I don't take responsibility for any of these things because certainly these people did it on their own. But to know that our group has contained this many amazing people just is to me, whenever I think about it, is just amazing. And how many amazing friends that we've met over the years, and
Brian. Met some of them in the real world,
and met finally some of them in the real world now. Absolutely. So real quick before we move on to, because we do have some Lego news this week that we're going to go over, and we're going to look at some of the thing. Oh, Isaac, you're so welcome. Isaac says, "Thank you for inspiring me to branch away from cars." Absolutely. Nice. Absolutely. So glad. Well, that was the thing too. And also, and I don't have a count on this, but the number of people who made their first mocks ever for a Trickybricks challenge, including Ms. Slowbrickta, our own Dawn, who ended up on Lego Masters. So, I mean, crazy. Okay, so real quick, just because I got it. Oh, and yeah, I wanted to show this little piece from
one of our younger builders,
from Matthew Builds Bricks.
Yay. Oh, very cool.
So earlier, before Brian came on, I was telling everybody how I took the kids to the arcade when they were here, but it was an arcade of machines from the turn of the century. So I'm curious, Brian.
Turn of the last century.
The last century, exactly, not the one from before, 2 centuries ago, whatever. I'm curious, Brian. So what was your, especially after being there, I'd love your little quick review. If people are going to San Francisco, is this a place they should visit?
Well, if I had to envision the definitive place that Flynn would take me on an excursion, it wouldn't be Alcatraz. It wouldn't be the Golden Gate Bridge. It's not going to be some, here's the best seafood in town. It's going to be the 150-year-old arcade machines with the laughing clowns that go like this,
yes.
and the executions that happen all for $0.25 a piece in the Bay Area. So it was really considering what I was there for, that I think was the highlight of the trip, mostly because we've known each other for so long, and to go and experience such an obscure thing that I would have never, ever gone to otherwise was the thing. And we had good people with us, and it was a whole, it was just a fun afternoon, evening. So it was awesome. So I'd recommend it. And, instead of going with the crowd of people toward the sea lions, looking at them just as they ferment on the wooden planks, just go down to the what was it called? The museum.
Musée Mécanique is the name of it.
Museum Mécanique. Go over there. Yes. It's great.
It must have been a penny arcade to start with, right?
Oh yeah, well, most of them were penny machines, and he's not joking. There literally are maybe 4 or 5 different ones that that executions are the theme.
Literally,
really weird.
So there's the laughing clowns, there's the executions, and then the best one of the entire establishment, Flynn. What was the best, the most mind-blowing, oh my goodness, I can't believe?
Oh, yes. And we paid $0.25 to watch it happen, too. It was a Tiffany lamp that when you put the quarter in, the lamp turned on.
It's the magic of electricity.
Did you guys watch the did you guys use the machine that was the Mario Kart of its day with the little horses that kind of skittered along the tracks?
No, we did play Brian played a sort of Mario Kart progenitor, which was literally 2 metal steering wheels, and inside the case was a metal track, a figure 8 track with 2 cars, and you had to steer the cars around. And we were saying, at least I should say I was saying, and we discussed it quite a bit, was just how interesting it is that entertainment hasn't really changed that much. It's just the matter of the form of that entertainment. And I find that quite humorous. Although I will say there's a shocking lack of laughing clowns these days.
And executions just in arcades.
I know.
Absolutely.
I mean, Mortal Kombat came from there. Right?
No, it was so bizarre because it looks like a nice front facade of a castle, and it looks very serene. And then the doors open.
In one. It's amazing.
When the doors open, that's when it's there's the whole thing happening.
There's a whole thing happening. Yes. And each one, and it's funny because each one shared similar. So they were different types of but there was always a clergy there. And there was and these are all, by the way, these are all like wooden carved. Yeah. Like these are all like hand carved wood. Yeah. And one of the things we saw too, which is my favorite thing there, like, yes, the lamp was amazing. But my personal favorite thing is there's a giant animated circus that I mean, it's huge, like absolutely massive, like bigger than most Lego layouts, like a big layout. And then you put you would put your coin in, and the entire thing lit up and moved.
That's cool. I've seen stuff like that. Yeah.
There was a little band that moved. Like it was really fascinating stuff.
Yeah, and after you're using your hands on all the different machines and stuff, there's a certain level of 100-year-old grime that goes all over your hands. And you're like, oh, and there's no sink anywhere, and you're just like, yep, I'm gonna go in the Uber, touching 100 years worth of hands. Cool.
Yes. Well,
that's
now,
and
I will say
play
too,
the love tester.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's the one.
There were plenty of those. Oh, and also too, I wanted to mention that it is free to get in. And then you just pay quarters for the machines. And like most of them are a quarter. So it's pretty easy to like, I just say like put $10 in your pocket and just like walk around and look at all the things. Cause it's really quite amazing. Yeah. Hey, Dr. Cat.
Hoy, Dr. Cat Builds.
How's it going? So yeah, I was very interested to take you all there. It just kind of seemed like the place. And yeah, that is the place that I would take you. I will say, sadly, for me anyway, because I don't like taking people to see the typical things, like you can see those, anybody will show you those. But Musée Mécanique is in a huge warehouse now at Pier 39, which is probably the most like touristy place in the entirety of San Francisco. And so I'm sorry to say that you do have to brave that to go, but it's like I said, it's free to get in. It's totally worth it. Now, it used to be in a really cool place called the Cliff House, which is a really old hotel restaurant literally on the edge of a cliff. And all of those old machines used to be crammed into this tiny space that was dark and weird. I mean, it added to the weirdness of the
it. Was awesome. That sounds better.
It was way better. But
awesome.
Still, like,
and it was only 12 blocks from my house.
Yes, it was, but still just, like a not to be missed San Francisco thing, especially if you are like into video games and like have spent any times in arcades. It's really like a history lesson. It's
and then later that night we went to a really nice ramen place that was not the downstairs ramen place you recommended, but still a good ramen place nonetheless. So
yes.
So if for anyone who would not know otherwise, Flynn is the ultimate tour guide for San Francisco. He knows what he's talking about. So, and I wish you were there, Richard, but we'll unite in Chicago
another time. I look forward to that, Brian.
Yeah, and there were other places I really wanted to take y'all, but we unfortunately only had a very limited amount of time. So that was like the quickie free trip. So anywho, moving on. Lego news this week. There's been quite a few things that happened this week. Probably the biggest one, let's see, I'd say the biggest one would be, oh, wait, this isn't the right thing. Now we're in trouble. Okay, actually, give me a minute here because I got to figure this out.
Holly, how's that lighthouse coming?
Oh, it's so close. I'm doing the roof, so it's going to be done here in like this episode.
Yep. Oh, something that I did want to mention is that I see what happened. Okay, I see what happened. Sorry, I just need to get a few things out of this folder. I did want to mention that next week we are going to be doing another build-along show, and this time we are going to be building the
Creator 3-in-1
Magical Unicorn. So
nice.
if you haven't gone out to get the Magical Unicorn yet, go pick it up. We'll be building it next week. Should be a good time.
There's no point in doing either of the other alternate builds.
I know. Well, I mean, come on, right? It's sort of the thing.
There's a magical seahorse.
Well, the seahorse is
is cute. Yeah,
and it has a fan.
I think that's the tail.
Oh, it's a fin, not a fan. It's a fin.
Oh, the fin. Yes, a fin fan. Okay, sorry, I'm just getting rid of a couple. Apparently, it deposited these images into an older Lego News folder that has.
Well, I have a
in it.
weird thing from the crypt. It's not crypt. Weird thing, if you want.
Oh, sure. Let's see the
that I
weird
found
thing.
yesterday.
We like weird.
So let's see how many people would enjoy this mashup in their life.
Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters?
Yep,
I didn't know that was
Yeah.
even a thing.
it's absolutely a thing.
Is
Teenage
now.
Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Ghostbusters met up in the
Wow.
comic book verse.
Who are you gonna call?
Who knew?
Turtles.
We've
Told you
lost
guys,
time, but he's
mashups.
coming back.
Mashups keep it going.
Now I want to save. I actually want to save talking about this until Brian comes back, because he definitely, I know, is going to have some thoughts about this.
Some hot
But
take. Did
we
you make
can-
the
Sure.
Brian?
I did
Okay.
indeed.
Nice.
I feel like they would be pretty not cool with Slimer eating all their pizza.
Yeah, that seems that
Yeah.
does definitely seem like
You
a
may
thing.
have uncovered a plot point in this actual comic.
Yeah.
Predictable.
Predict totally.
great.
Okay, so but until I'll wait on the big news until Brian comes back. But for now, let me. Sorry, just trying to straighten
Get
this out
everything
here.
in a row.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very, very weird.
Well, in the interest
If
of
you
having,
want, I can show a hammer if it's hammer time.
is it hammer time? I think
I
it
don't
might
know,
be
is it?
hammer time.
Oh, is that one of our newer things? And that's right, everybody, because it is
Hammer time.
okay. Moto. It is.
I don't know what this thing is, so you guys help identify in the chat,
Doesn't
okay?
even know what it is. Ooh.
Whoa.
Awesome.
That looks some kind of
That's like something you'd find in Skyrim.
Yeah, this is Mad Max. But what's crazy is the label on the handle. It says test for 20,000 volts.
Oh,
whoa.
what?
So
Wow.
I don't know what you'd be doing with this thing where you need to test for 20,000 volts other than
Oh,
killing
it's for
zombies.
smashing killer robots.
Oh,
There
you
you go.
Clearly.
Showing,
So you
proving.
don't get electrocuted.
I wouldn't
So-
trust that to be an insulated enough handle.
Well, yeah, that's why you have to test for it, I guess.
Wow.
Well,
It doesn't
tell you
say
what that is.
guaranteed for 20,000 volts. It says test.
So what happens when the test fails?
You fail. That's how I got it from a estate sale, evidently.
The hammer gets a new owner.
Yeah, the hammer gets a
Wow.
new owner.
Amazing.
So,
is this-
you
is
know
that
what
a
it is? I
blade?
know what it is.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a fireman's axe.
Oh,
Oh, I was
going
gonna say it looked kind of like a something fire thing. I was thinking Steve Parmley might have something to say about it, but
That's why it has the pry bar pick on the other side so that you
Probably.
can rip
Yep.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good
Nope.
call,
You
Cara.
can get those you can get one from Granger for $163 today.
Yeah. Well,
no, well there you go.
I'm glad I asked you guys what it was.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I see what you did there.
So Maraid says that the Cliff House officially closed in 2020, but the Musée Mécanique moved to Fisherman's Wharf over 20 years ago.
Oh
It's
my
been
gosh.
20
Is
years.
it that
Oh
long?
my goodness, Flynn.
Holy cow.
Here, let me go get you
All
some
right.
Geritol.
I'm just gonna wheel myself over here and put on my lap blanket. Oh my goodness!
I mean, these 3 years feel like 20 years already. So
It's true. Flynn and I were
In a good
20.
way.
Flynn and I were 20 when we started.
Yeah, felt like it.
I used to have hair.
Okay, so okay, while we're waiting for Brian to come back before we hit up the Lego news, does anybody have any like particular special moments of the last 3 years that come to mind, that something they enjoyed, or an episode that they really liked doing, or a challenge build that they did, or anything like
Mhm.
that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta love You gotta love Thunderman. I mean, come on.
Thunderman was pretty good. Yeah.
Thunderman was pretty amazing, and if you're not familiar with Thunderman, he was a character created by Holly's son, a drawing that ended up becoming like a whole thing, and ended up in our opening credits
He
sequence.
visited our show.
Yeah, he visited the show. He's made an appearance at.
Yeah, we're jumping the gun a little bit, but I had him ready for.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
with his thunder pants.
With his thunder
Yep.
pants.
That's it.
Awesome.
I like the way he's holding the thunderbolt. So in profile, it looks like he's shooting through the air on some
Exactly.
suspicious propulsion.
Mhm.
That's
Thunderman
the
is
idea.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Brickaroo Bonsai says that they have the Thunderman mask. That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot
Oh,
about
that's
that.
Oh no.
This will give you a little bit of a suggestion on which episode was my favorite.
Oh, that's
That's
great. That's great. What a great mock. Oh my
So-
goodness.
This habitat is reminiscent of the time when the mini Moto took over the
That's right.
Live
Oh
stream.
my goodness, mini Moto. Oh, I remember when you made like you made your whole like washer dryer
everything.
and everything.
Yep. Yeah, mini Moto. There's the miniature wolf mask that we were talking about, or wolf. Yeah. So yeah. I've almost I've almost thought about building this in Lego and then trying to do another mini Moto, but logistically it's been tough.
Yeah.
The bookcase is tough.
Well,
Yeah, it's a much harder background than just two washers and a washer and a dryer.
oh, Isaac said he loved Richard's photography tips.
Oh,
Yeah.
thanks,
Nice.
Isaac. Cool. I love those how-tos were super fun to research.
Yeah, we did a bunch of how-tos.
History of.
The history of shows were fun. I remember we had Fourth World Adam on talking about Atlantis. That was really fun.
I got a good one.
Oh, see you later says finally meeting you all in person at Bricks Cascade last year.
Aw.
That was definitely a good one.
That
Well,
was
Okay.
fun.
This was fun. That one episode where we basically had to do a speed build to get
Yes.
this
Yeah.
built in one episode.
Yeah. and that we all missed the gear in the differential. I was looking
Same
at pictures
step.
earlier.
Same
I found a
step.
picture of just that part that we all screwed up.
And weren't you running it on your bed, Blair? I remember they're
Oh,
like
because I was at the second hotel during
That's
the ice
right.
storm. Yeah,
Oh, Fabby Fan MKE says Fab Max.
that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna
Wow,
say.
yeah.
Wow.
Yes, that was an awesome one. And then Smoke Up Johnny brings up, and this was one that I was going to mention,
The bomb.
the trivia challenge.
Yes, that was the best.
Um,
That was the
that
best.
was
Yeah.
that was so much fun.
Well, Johnny, that was a good episode to start on.
Yes, seriously. And Isaac says, "Will you be at Cascade this year? It'll be my first time there at a large con." Yes, Isaac,
Yes.
we will be
We'll be
there.
there.
Awesome.
So looking.
I
forward
hear Anita Stud will be there too.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
So that was, that was probably for me. Like that was the most work that I have ever done producing one of these shows. Like I don't know how I actually made it through it.
Well, what people wouldn't have seen on the show was that I kept missing the buzzer. So Flynn was not only doing the engineering of switching the camera, he was correcting me on the buzzer at the same time, as well as his counterpart was on screen.
Yes, that was something else. And then doing it all, and if I remember, it was like the summer, and we were like wearing
Yeah,
wigs.
you were
and,
roasting.
like,
Yeah.
You were
that was
roasted.
a hot wig.
Wedding.
Wait, no, that wasn't us.
I mean them. Those were some
Smoke Up
fun
Johnny.
shows. Oh, and here we go. Anita's look of silent judgment for wrong answers was a highlight.
Oh yes.
Devo says Flynn's reaction to the Gene Parmesan as Vision Mosaic. Oh yeah, I mean there were a few times where I broke so hard that it was hard to come back. Like I just remember like crying,
Pretty
laughing. Oh, Gene, he got me again. All right, well, sorry, Brian. We were just discussing favorite episodes of the show and things that we had done and that sort of thing. So, but now that Brian's back, we can finally get into what was this week's Lego news. And there was there were several pieces of news, but probably the biggest thing, and I do want to talk about this for a minute once we get into it. But as you know, March 10th is now known as Mario Day because MAR 10 because of the internet, sort of like May 4th with May the 4th be with you. Like they'll make a holiday on anything these days.
Yeah, Revenge of the 5th. Mm-hmm.
March 10th was Mario Day. And oh my goodness, sorry. Steve says that the crash axe was for cutting through the siding of an aircraft.
Oh wow.
Hence the volts warning thing on there.
Wow.
There you go. So
Dang.
needless to say,
gotta go. There's a Beechcraft out in my backyard. I'll be right back.
Needless to say, Nintendo fans and Lego fans were very excited because Lego really promoted this in a way that I don't see them promote many other things.
Like anything.
Like anything, exactly. And so I think there was maybe a little bit of surprise at what the final reveal was, given the amount of hype that was given. But we can talk about that in a minute. And there were two things got announced, but this was arguably the one that they teased the hardest. And that is Donkey Kong, a brick-built Donkey Kong that apparently can hold Mario, the electronic Mario, and it also makes Mario make different like special sounds now. Like there's additional sounds that it makes. So Brian.
Brian.
So Brian.
Load up the ticker.
There's the banner. There it is.
We gotta see you. So tell us your thoughts.
So there's two portions to my thoughts. I'll go with reviewing the product first because that's what we got, right?
Right.
The two announcements product wise were Dry Bowser's Castle and then Donkey Kong being a thing. Now in previous March 10th, they've been like, hey, here's a digital Princess Peach and the whole wave of sets coming out in August, so we got a really deep dive, right? So here we got one big set, $130 thing, which is like Bowser's Castle from years ago. And we only got just the Donkey Kong non-playable figure. So there was left to be desired in terms of just more stuff being unveiled. Mm-hmm. And, Donkey Kong in of itself is cool, should be a part of the Mario line. But, they've had 3 of these $60 figures come out. I know that a lot of parents, I'm not even factoring in the AFOLs. A lot of parents are like, I'm spending $180 in digital figures here for my kid to not play with them after 6 months or whatever. So Lego is probably like, well, we don't want to do that anymore. So let's do a rideable Donkey Kong, for lack of a better term, which, they've been pretty consistent with the games and how they do portrayals in Lego. And this has never happened in a Mario game ever, where Mario rides Donkey Kong like Yoshi, pretty much. This never happens before.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, in terms of Donkey Kong, if they're not going to do another digital figure, cool, you can do something like this. But then clearly, Yoshi could have been Donkey Kong in this case, like a rideable Yoshi with the sound effects and the interactivity. So now Yoshi's sidelined to a side piece character, and so is Bowser. So this to me doesn't do enough to reinvigorate Super Mario for another year's worth of products to come out. And, Lego feels like they're really beating around the bush, with either not coming out with minifigure or just doing something different to make people excited. Like, this doesn't feel exciting. It feels like, hey, if you already love Lego Super Mario, you'll love this. Great, but it's not going to bring new people in, which is what Lego wants, and it's not going to accomplish that goal.
Well, honestly, for me, I thought it was going to be like when they teased the outline of his head. I mean, it was pretty obvious what it was. But I was honestly expecting something along the lines of the Big Bowser.
Correct.
Yeah,
I thought there was going to be some like, USC or UCS or US, whatever they call it now. Donkey Kong, which would have been really cool.
Yep.
But this seemed like I don't know. It seemed like an awful lot of hype for what ended up not being a whole lot.
And so that brings me into the second part of this whole thing, and this is Dry Bowser's Castle. So the Bowser Castle that came out 3 years ago looks diminutive compared to this. This is much better. But the other half of this whole thing is, Lego has promoted things a couple days in advance before, right? We had like the ring, and you see the reflection of Rivendell in the ring. Like, obviously, we know what it is. We see BTS and all that. This had I don't want to say a substantially longer social media campaign, but it was like a week-long thing, teasing on Instagram and all that. And the way Nintendo fans, gaming fans, see those type of things, they're like, oh, well, Nintendo hypes up the newest Legend of Zelda or Mario movie. Like, hey, get excited. This is going to be good. And then when those expectations aren't met from a presentation and social media marketing standpoint, then people get ticked off. And there was nothing here that got me as a Nintendo fan excited. As a Lego Super Mario fan, sure, but the consensus was everybody was left very underwhelmed, especially when other parts of this presentation could have been their own video for Mario Day, like showcasing the Peach stuff and the behind the scenes on Bowser. It didn't need to be part of this 10-minute presentation, where the expectation from the gaming standpoint, give us more games and content, and in this case, sets and, deep dive and whatever. So it just missed the mark, especially considering how little they promoted some other things. Like BTS got 2 days of promotion before unveiling. You could have had that thing go on for a month. Like, hey, everybody, BTS, and then build it up that way.
I will say this, though, about the BTS thing, is that I'm sure from their point of view, maybe from their point of view, it was kind of like, well, why bother spending the money to promote it when we know it's going to print money anyway?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, but Super Mario, it's a Nintendo. So that's going to print money within of itself anyways, but give the attention to when you're promoting a product like that. Like they've done way crazier promotions for the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade float than they've done other products and whatever, and that doesn't nearly get the attention as much as it should.
It's so weird though. Like, I wonder how much of that is controlled by the IP. Like, when they're negotiating those contracts and stuff, I'm sure there's also some negotiating of like promotional content too.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely.
Or at least budgets, right? Like they're going to have X amount of budgets, and I'm sure some of that has to be contributed by the IP. So if Nintendo is like throwing marketing money at Lego, then
yeah, and that's why I don't necessarily blame Nintendo. I more so blame Lego for not hitting the mark and capitalizing on hype the way that they could, because Nintendo does it with the Nintendo Direct. Hey, be here at this time. We got a Mario movie trailer, and it shows Rainbow Road. It shows Donkey Kong, all these characters people lose their minds for, and it builds excitement that way. But Lego, as we know with LegoCon, does not hit the mark the way that it could for the future. Hey, everybody, we got a special musical guest. Give it up for LLAMA. Hey! We don't care. The kids don't care. The AFOs don't care. So you care to spend the corporate marketing dollars to get it out there, and then it fails 6 months later. So just we gotta learn and iterate, take cues from Nintendo and PlayStation and whatever who have mastered this over years to build that excitement. Show us like at least the Donkey Kong set that he comes in, so we can get a basis for what's going to happen 6 months from now.
Is there a Donkey Kong set?
There has to be. What else? What else
Yeah,
would
like,
it be?
where else would they have it?
No,
I would.
Well,
Somebody
I
was
was going to
saying,
say they're probably holding back just to position their money better at the movie tie-in.
well, no, Moto, because if they did a movie tie-in, this movie comes out in approximately 3 weeks. So
Now would be the time.
would have literally been the time for you to say, hey, here's the $30 plumber's van set that comes out that they literally have a physical van pulled up to Nintendo New York to showcase the movie. That could have been the $30 or $40 set.
It feels like something maybe went wrong. Like maybe they had a product, maybe they had something else that was supposed to be promoted with this, and it could have potentially gotten like kicked back, or it got stuck in legal, or like who knows?
The other thing that I have
the other thing maybe that the fan base is not Star Wars, and that's just that. You go by how many fans are expected to draw, and you put the budget where it is.
Well, so
Just
actually, speaking of Star Wars, they've had separate situations where I know Lego designers who have been interviewed have been transparent about, hey, we can't do a minifigure series because the license is held up with whoever. There's been a little bit of and I know that's very difficult to ask in certain circumstances. But if you're not going to give us minifigures, or you're not going to give us the presentation the way it is, be a little bit transparent about it. I know it's tough for the multi-billion-dollar company, but a little thing just to like make the diehard people aware, and then those people can communicate it to the audience. And okay, now we have a better understanding, and especially going into the summertime. So
this is true, Fabby fan. No publicity is bad publicity. We're talking about it. It's true. We are.
Well, I'm not here saying, hey, go buy the whole assortment of sets. I'm saying, hey, as a diehard fan, I'm not 100% as happy as I could be. So, I mean, you got a point.
I just think for me, I'm ambivalent, like about that anyway, just because as we've discussed before, it is out of my nostalgia range. Like I had already moved forward at that point, but it is, I was just surprised at the size of it, considering like the size of the hype was way out from the actual end product. And I was just surprised about that.
I'm wondering, I feel like with the BTS thing, if I'm not wrong, wasn't it cryptically hinted at for at least a month, where they were like just showing the colors on Instagram and saying like something's coming? And like it was cryptic to me because I am not super familiar with their stuff. And then when it finally like revealed and they started showing the silhouettes of them and then the sets, I'm wondering if the failure to launch, like Holly was saying, like maybe something went wrong. But also what you were saying about maybe there's advertising money being allocated from a third party like Nintendo. So maybe the hype came from paying that to be pushed ahead in algorithms, right?
Oh,
so
very
we
possible.
were seeing more because it was being promoted harder, and then it wasn't supposed to be a huge thing. But right, like I don't know, there's possibility for that too. Like social media can be so fluctuating, I feel like, with promotional stuff.
It can. However, this is the same company that came out with like multiple waves of Lego video, banking on the music success tying into an application that nobody cared to download, and then the theme. So I don't know how much of the 4D chess is happening. I mean, it might be, but I don't. I'm like, I wager 50-50 between the two. I'm like, I
feel like with small businesses, I see their advertisement the day after. Everything's done.
Yeah.
And then with the big stuff, it's like promotions, and all over the place, like too much. But then, you're like, oh man, this company came out with this. Oh, and it came out yesterday and it sold out, for a smaller business when it finally comes across your feed. So it is curious, but I think I'm with you with the transparency. So I hope that, we'll be able to get on top of that better. I think that Lego, it has been a little slow to learn how to use the social media to their advantage.
Which, what's amazing, Blair, is that they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to Rivendell and all these other milestone like AFOLs are losing their bleep button minds over things like this. And it's like, oh, we're just going to drop this $500 multi-thousand piece set on a Tuesday afternoon only for VIPs that know about it, and it's gone. Okay, well, cool. And then, for kids that are watching this, there's going to be 1,000 other things that happen between now and August when this releases that this is going to get left in the wayside. Dry Bowser, who cares? Donkey Kong, who cares? Like, it's going to be Mario movie stuff, and then the Blu-ray when that comes out. I feel like this is going to get lost on the shuffle, and especially, like you said, how social media changes so quickly, too.
All right. Well, I knew that was going to be a rabbit hole, and I'm so glad that we fell down it. But now we're going to see what else
on a much more happier things.
Yes. Oh,
Actual rabbit holes.
Oh, that's adorable.
So this is the Easter gift with purchase. Little Easter basket. Very cute. Very, very cute. I love the little pink cheeks. They're very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Jurassic Park. So
Oh, yeah.
This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Give us like Mario stuff, like with the level of love and care of this Jurassic Park 30th anniversary line. This is like perfect. The
Yeah.
prices, I don't know, but
yeah, I mean, okay, so this is the 4+ set. This is the Velociraptor Escape. There have been 5 announced for the 30th anniversary of Jurassic Park.
beautiful.
There's, I'm going to say it wrong. Dilophosaurus ambush.
Dilophosaurus?
Yep.
Yeah.
We've got the Triceratops research. And by the way, that is a giant pile of poo over there.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yes.
I saw a
and I
really
love-
funny. I did see kind of like a meme that was made from that. Like it like just goes to show that you can sell poop to AFOLs. It was so good.
Well, and I love that he's got a shovel here.
Yeah.
I will say I did add some poop joke stuff during the workshop, and they loved it. I was like, everybody's loving the poop jokes. I put some poop jokes in this bill.
Yes.
Didn't talk about it much, but like it was well received.
Who doesn't
Okay,
love it?
Coprolite Adventure.
Okay, and so just showing how well, maybe just showing how far we haven't come. I think one of the other highlights of our trip to the Musée Mécanique was a machine with little carved cowboys in it called Song of the Prairie was the name. And it's little cowboys sitting around a campfire. And you put the quarter in, and I was expecting like Home on the Range to play or something along those lines. No, it was a series of farts.
Oh.
It was just a series of farts. So even, you know, over 100 years ago, we were still finding humor like that hilarious, apparently.
Well, I want to remind people that the fart sound is available on Powered Up.
It is available on Powered Up. And in a Tesla, if you decide to buy one of those, you can have an outside speaker that plays. All right. Anyway. Okay. Next up. Now this one I like the dinosaur in this one.
I like the
this
neck
is cool.
piece is a cool piece.
The Brachiosaurus Discovery, it's called.
Which one? I don't see it on the screen.
Oh,
Looks great.
oops.
Looks like
Sorry,
you.
I forgot to put it back up. Whoop, this one.
Sort of
This
the
is cool.
Jurassic Park.
Oh, really? Okay, and then finally we have the big one, which is the Visitor Center T-Rex and Raptor attack.
It's a long
Cool.
time coming for this one.
This
Yeah.
is the one that I have.
that's one.
I have a small issue with personally. I've been trying. I've been digging through
Blair's
bags
hot
of
take.
dinosaurs to try and find it. But so what my issue is, the first Legacy Jurassic Park set, we got the Velociraptor that was colored like the original movie. So this is not it, but this is similar colors that like sort of
Right.
dark browns and dark oranges and tans and stuff. And I thought this would have been a perfect opportunity to do that color again, because all the ones in the original movie, all the Velociraptors have a congruent color scheme because they're all basically clones of one another. And then it came out with one that has this modeled, more Jurassic Park 3 sort of look to it. So it was just sort of strange to me personally. But I'm so excited to get another Vegisaurus. The Brachiosaurus is super awesome because, as many people know, we're very limited on plant-eating dinosaurs. There aren't that
Yes.
many. So to finally get a really stupendous Vegisaurus, I'm very, very excited about that.
Now,
Well,
okay, so
I think the favorite piece of all of them is back with where Newman is getting poisoned. They've got his little cup finally printed up.
The Barbasol can.
Yeah, the Barbasol.
Oh,
is this one? Are you
And everybody wants the Barbasol can now. from
what
that
this
set.
one?
I do. Yeah.
oh!
Yeah.
I didn't even see it in the previews. I
It's
guess
like
I was
over-
looking at
it's
it on my
right-
phone.
It's
It's
one of
like
the
over
images
here.
on the back of the box.
It's like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, with
I-
the Barbasol
Okay.
can is in the
Uh,
center.
Great.
no, I don't know if that is it because it would be red.
Yeah.
That's
It is.
definitely
I
it,
can
right?
see. I can see the
Yeah,
logo.
it
it's
says
dark
Barbasol.
blue on
Yeah,
top.
okay.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah. Hold on. The perfect thing in this set, though, is that sign has got to be on a frictionless Technic half pin.
Yes.
So that
hope
you
so.
can pin it.
Spins. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so here's the thing, and I'm gonna I want to know what your meaning was. So Brian, you mentioned you thought that the care that they put into these particular sets, to my untrained eye, as somebody who is not like a huge Jurassic Park person, these don't seem that different from any other one. There's a car,
Sure,
and a dinosaur, and maybe a little like kind of building.
So
with the exception of the big one.
What I meant is that if Lego were to come out and say, "Hey, we're doing 6 Lego sets for the first Jurassic Park movie. What should they be?" And then bam, 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 you got them all there. And the only other one left out is the now currently available $100 T-Rex Escape, where the porta potty and all that stuff, right? Pretty much every iconic thing from this one movie is here, and you have all the different types of dinosaurs, and they're exemplified here. So that's what I mean. Like, if Lego were to do that and have that level of I mean, they obviously care. Everyone obviously cares, but I'm saying care with Super Mario for like one game or one sub theme or something like that. That's what I personally want for Nintendo, in the same way they did with Jurassic Park.
Okay, that makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm trying to be rational. I'm not just mad for the sake of being mad. This, trying.
That's
too bad. We need our villain, Brian. We need our villain. Come on.
You, right?
Yeah.
You want a product that you feel like you're going to get something out of. Where like, the interactive live action Mario board game is not for everybody.
And I get my AFOL, UCS thing once a year. But you have Star Wars coming out with 3 things a year, and now Lord of the Rings is probably going to be multiple because this one sold so well. So it's just give a little Legend of Zelda love over here. A little bit of this.
Where is our Zelda? Where is our Zelda?
Well, so I think that's really and this comes back to a discussion that I know gets discussed every single time a new Mario or Nintendo set comes out, and it's like, why aren't we getting minifigures? Well, like Star Wars, it's a licensing thing, I'm sure, because they wouldn't just not be doing it because, of course, it would make tons of money, right? Yes. So obviously there's a reason why. Like, they're not just like, you know what? Let's stick it to them again and not announce minifigs. Like, I don't think that's really what's going on behind the scenes.
So I will say, I think there's a little bit of sticking it to me personally. I take personal offense. And here's why. Because if you look at the back of Dry Bowser's castle, the designer in the set being cheeky during the video, he's like, oh, there's a little secret inside of here. We'll leave that for you. And then you look on the website, and there's a micro Peach's Castle. Micro Peach's Castle. After all the times I've complained about not getting it, we go small. It's like.
Now I did see this, and this is interesting. Ahoy hoy, Chris Chalice and Jaden, hello. And hi, Jeff McElwee, how's it going?
And Yvonne VW.
And Yvonne, hi. Now I forgot my train of. I forgot where I was going with that.
Micro Peach's Castle.
Micro Peach's Castle. Yeah. So I know that, like, on the discourse on Twitter, to your reaction, there was somebody who brought something up that I thought was interesting, and they said, "Well, hey, maybe this is a reference to something that's coming in the future," which they often do. Like, you'll see things in Lego sets that have like the one that I always think of is the when they came out with the Italian car that had the painting of the Colosseum, and then then the Colosseum came out.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious if perhaps maybe that's something that
I think they're following every piece of content I do. And they're like, how can we stick it to Brian Saviano sitting in his chair in Boston, Massachusetts? How can we do it today? And that's how they did it today.
It must be true.
It has to be.
I think you finally found their secret.
Right. It's Boone sends them a message on the Mario design team like, oh, Brian's right here. Watch out. And then it's a whole relay over in Denmark. I know it.
There it is. You found it. You found the link.
The missing link. That well, my goodness, that was yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I have to say, like, for big announcements for this week, none of them really spoke to me. Like, there's nothing there that I feel like I have to have.
Apparently not to
I'm
Brian
surprised
either.
it wasn't a hype train for the Jurassic stuff. Like, we didn't get like just a single image of like a dinosaur egg hatching or anything.
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's the point that Brian's making, right? Like, they put all of this so much, but again, then again, probably the money for promotion came from elsewhere.
I
like,
think so. I
came
think that's
from
a big
Nintendo.
factor. Yeah, I think.
And I mean, I think anybody who's been following Nintendo for any number of years, and I was involved with E3s and video games for a while, is Nintendo isn't really the greatest about paying attention to what fans want. They're kind of just like, we're going to do what we feel like doing and you're going to like it, which is like, which is what companies do.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And it's worked so far. But, I know that people get their hopes up, and there are a lot of companies who will kind of like give fan service and like give fans the things that they want and things that they're looking for. But of course, nothing will ever satisfy everyone.
Well, anytime that you're, like I said, going back to the IP thing, like anytime you're dealing with and I feel like it must be somewhat IP driven, just because it's so inconsistent. Their marketing and like their timing and all of that stuff is so inconsistent. I feel like it must have something to do with the other party kind of driving or funding, or like too many cooks in the kitchen, or something in legal. Like, there's got to be some other variables that are involved with the IPs that they don't have to deal with, like with their own IP. You know what I mean? So
well, and as far as the timing, as far as like the timing on things go, I personally feel like some, if not a lot, of the issues we're seeing in timing about how some things get a long lead and some things get a short lead, and that has to do with leaks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it, yeah, it's part of it.
And it really concerns me, like when that huge leak came out with Rivendell and a bunch of the other sets that came out, it concerns me on a level of like, hey, if this keeps happening, is Lego going to lose their licenses with some of these companies? Are they going to be like, you know what, your fan base is untrustworthy and we can't like keep giving away the farm before? And that worries me. And, we may not see, stuff like that keeps happening. They're going to start losing IPs. Loose lips sink ships.
I will say that was really sad to see, like that kind of classified information getting let out. However, we do have to think that we are very, we're a niche part of the really tapped into part of the Lego community. And the most of the people in the world do not know what was on that list. Have not even heard of all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it does stay, it gets around, and you have to like put blinders on to not see it.
Right.
But that's only for those of us who are really, embedded.
Sure.
The general population is not having Rivendell spoiled for them.
Well, and I think also too like the BTS, like for instance the BTS set, we knew that was coming a year ago or more because of ideas.
It was on ideas, exactly.
Right.
And we cover that stuff. But yes, you're right, and I have mentioned that before. That like they're it's just really about how tapped into something you are, and most people are not. Honestly, like most people are not.
Yeah, but those schedules, those schedules for when they're doing their marketing and that kind of thing, I'm sure that's accounted for. Like, I'm sure there are going to be some companies that don't want to start marketing things too far in advance, because then there's there's more time for something to be leaked before the big reveal, and then there's going to be some companies or studios who care maybe a little bit less about leaks and are like, oh yeah, let's start teasing this as far ahead as possible, and really build the hype, because that's the trade-off, the risk versus benefits, right?
Right. Well, it wouldn't be a 3-year anniversary show if we didn't talk about the horrors of leaks.
Lego politics.
Yeah, exactly. So, golly, we're actually like pulling in to the end here. A long show today, hour and 45 minutes, and I so appreciate everybody coming with a time change, especially Holly. Like I had my ticket. I was ready to fly up there and knock on your door. But I did want to mention before we go.
This is heartwarming.
Well, two things. One more, just another reminder. Next week we will be doing a build along of the Magical Unicorn set. So if you haven't gotten your copy yet to build along with us, please do. Very good. And the other thing is, and this is a tricky lug thing, is we are doing a rebrick challenge over at Tricky Lug, and this time we are going to be building the slushy van. And now it's very cute, the penguin slushy van. I know you love the penguins, Brian, but what makes this set extra special is that this is Aaron Newman's first set as a designer.
Aaron Newman from season one.
From season one, our friend who we got to see when we were over in Denmark. It was really cool. So I look forward to the day when I can hold up a box and say, "Look, everybody, it's Blair's first set as a designer."
That's pretty cool.
That will be coming soon, or at least
What if it looks like this?
So definitely.
I'm just hoping it's Duplo, because that would just bring joy to my heart.
I've heard that Duplo is a whole separate unit. So even though I said to them specifically, like I've always said, you can put me on Duplo, that is a different hiring criteria.
Wow.
Interesting. Okay. Interesting.
It might also be a slight waste of my talents.
Oh. The Hornburgers mentioned that the slushy set is 20% off at Target today.
Ooh, perfect.
I missed out on AFOL day yesterday.
I did. I missed
that can be your there's your saving grace.
And Blair, I hope you sign up early for your media training at Lego so you can come back and visit us. I know you can't do spoilers, but it'd be great to talk with you from Villain.
Yeah.
Get that done quick.
I'm hoping that I will be able to reacquaint myself with this very quickly. We'll see.
And
just it'll be a lot of adjustment too. So I'm technically 1 hour closer to being 9 hours ahead.
So real quick, Blair. Hey man, I'm just saying, man. I know we haven't met in person. We haven't gotten to talk. We haven't gotten to schmooze. If you happen to stumble down a specific corridor and you peek into an office that's colored with like plumbers, just be like, "Hey man, I know what the fans want." I'm just saying. You know what the people want. You know what the people want. I told Boone the same thing. You know what the people want. Don't tell me anything. Keep it on the down low. I don't want confidential information. Just poke your head in and be like, "Hey Carl, this is what Mr. Saviano. That's what he wants." That's all you gotta say. That's it.
I will eat every little spotted Lego mushroom I see and whisper into all the green pipes for you, my friend.
That's all I ask. That's it.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, actually don't eat the red spotted mushrooms. They're poisonous. Yes.
They're too weak for my taste, honestly.
Oh my god. Okay, well let's not go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, friends. What a delightful 3-year anniversary show. I can't believe it. Like this is just it's I don't know, if you would have told me when lockdown happened and we started doing this that we would be here 3 years later talking about how we did, what we started 3 years ago. I don't. And then we would have multiple members on Lego Masters and a member in, on getting ready to be on the design team, like all of those things. Like I never would have thought it.
What
never.
You mean when we turned to one another in our dining room that we built Lego in and said, what would we even do online? What would we even do?
I remember talking to Boone and Mel backstage at Lego Masters and talking about that and saying like, because they had both had established channels for a while, and I was like, oh well, maybe we should do something like that, but I don't know what the heck we would do. Like, who cares? Who's going to want to watch us? And apparently there was at least 41 of you who want to see what's going on with us. And I gotta say that I am so grateful that you've all been here and stuck around. And I mean, because honestly, like I know that like especially with YouTube shows and Twitch and things like that, audiences come and go. Like you get a lot of, you get people age out or they get bored or, they move on to other streamers. And the fact that 3 years later, we are sitting here, and I mean, really at the height of the pandemic, when everyone was at home, we would have about 50 people a show. And the fact that we're still pulling 40 of you coming to see us on a Sunday, like 3 years later, and that the lion's share of you are people who've been here from the beginning. It blows my mind and it warms my heart so much. Like it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Well, and I want to thank the members of our panel, our cast of irregulars, the people on screen right now, for everything you've done to contribute to the awesomeness of the Trickybricks Build Chat. It really, without your voices, well, it would be just the two of us the entire time talking, and it's so nice to get different and varied perspectives.
Yeah, it's been it's incredible, and not only. And this is for everybody, here in the, on screen right now, it's one thing for us to do this because we can, we make the rules, we decide when and where we're going to go on and all that kind of stuff. But for you to be here and consistently be here and still be here, and Brian coming back and visiting and all that, like that means the world to us. I mean, it really does. It's just, it's incredible.
And now we have monthly Tricky Lug meetings too.
Right, and now we have
together in chat.
Tricky Lug.
Yeah, I mean that's just it's incredible. It's been an epic 3 years, and I look forward to more. And to the fact that we're not doing it 7 days a week now is best for my sanity and just wherewithal in general. But and that was another thing too. I was really worried when we started kind of slicing days off, and what was it going to be like? Are people going to stop coming? And people are enjoying being out in the world now, and golly, it's just been. I can't thank you all enough. Everybody on screen, everybody in the chat. It's been a fantastic ride, and super excited to keep on keeping on.
Well, and there's new fun to come too. We're introducing more build along challenges. I think we'll do history of. We've got features happening on Sunday.
Yeah, it's funny too because things evolve and change over time, for sure. This show has certainly evolved and changed and has but we want to start kind of bringing back some of the things that made our show unique and weird. Stay weird, Tricky Lug.
Well, apparently Wilfred is nostalgic for the stop motion Trickybricks days.
Oh yeah.
And I still can't believe we got featured on YouTube's front page when we were doing that. That kills me. I was like, what are you sending people to see? Do you know what you're doing? But yeah, that was something else. Oh my goodness. Who would have thought? So
Ryan, do you have a minifigure around that you could show us?
Minifigs.
Yeah, we're doing we do a sort of favorite minifigs at the end. If you don't have one, that's okay.
Oh no, I'll grab one. Stall. I got it.
All right,
I got it.
We'll go. We'll start off
with Mega Bloks Donkey Kong or something.
All right, Kara.
All right, I picked this up yesterday at the store on the BAM. This is awesome.
Oh, wonderful!
Now they missed an opportunity for the side printing, but they did print the back.
That's an excellent. I think that might be an old slope.
It might be, but it's nicely decorated, and this head is great, and of course the Bellatrix hair just makes this figure awesome.
All right. Moto.
Yeah, I picked up a new minifigure. I think you'll enjoy this one because the other one was getting lonely.
Ah!
Oh no!
What on earth are
bigger,
those?
Scott
What?
babies or Belleville babies.
Belleville. So I found a Belleville boy baby now to go with the girl to haunt
That
your
is
dreams.
Oh,
terrifying.
I am so scared right now.
Oh my goodness. No, don't get it closer.
Definitely going to come get you in the middle of the night.
Those eyes, they follow you.
Oh my goodness. All right, Blair. Save us from the terrifying baby, please.
Please.
Yeah. I'll keep my terrors, and I'll show you my new acquisition. I uninstalled a huge Classic Space display, and I picked up Celebration Benny.
Great
So there's
figure.
a
wonderful.
300 anniversary.
Oh, that's awesome.
3 year, not 300. Many more than 300.
Awesome.
Oh no.
I love it.
Fan
It's like
MKE.
Elton John as a spaceman. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What's going on? Fabby fan, what?
Fabby Fan MKE says a boy and a girl. Now they will repopulate.
No!
Oh,
Tired. All right. Holly.
All right. I already showed mine earlier, but of course, it is a classic
Thunderman.
Thunderman
Perfect.
Thunderman.
with his lightning pants.
Thunderman
Perfect.
is awesome.
Thunderpants.
That's
I remember there
awesome.
was, like when Thunderman was first introduced, there was like a whole lot of people who really, really wanted us to put Thunderpants as a thing that they could get on our
Yes.
Redbubble store.
Yes.
We can still make that happen. I think.
Thunderpants.
Although I would actually, I'd probably be able to wear Thunderpants now. I would not maybe 3 years ago when we started this. Okay. Who hasn't gone yet?
Minifigchick.
Nope.
I went.
Right.
Clara went
you
already.
Brian.
Brian. All right, Brian.
you would never be able to guess the minifigure I'm about to hold up, but it's from the 2001 Alpha Team Ogle Control Center. It's
Yes.
Ogle
Whoa.
with the chrome gold visor.
That is
Yeah.
super
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that actually was my first Lego set growing up that I remember. That's not Duplo or Jack Stone. So I got it as a sealed set years ago, and it's been on my shelf. So yeah.
Very
That's
cool.
great.
Yeah.
I've always loved that head, the like one red eyes. So
Yeah,
cool.
it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
And I've shown this one before, but it's really dear to my heart. It was a gift from my
Dave.
good friend Dave Robinson, and this is
Oh yes.
the space person, the astronaut from the lunar lander,
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
with those almost Technic figure arms there.
And quite the badonkadonk.
Wearing a buckle.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've got well, I have two because they go together, and I think wait, I got to make sure I have this in the right order. Yeah.
Representing Flynn and I.
Yeah, this is basically they made like our sig figs, and that is
You want me to hold?
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah.
There you go.
Had to have them.
Ho, 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 ho.
That wasn't half bad. It was half bad and half terrible. There we go. All right. What a day. What a day. What a 3 years. Well, we look forward for many more exciting years of this to come. Although I don't know, 3 years from now, what's even going to be like? I'm just trying to imagine like what sets is Lego going to be putting out 3 years from now?
Will be holograms.
I know. Yes, Blair sets. It's true.
Blair
Oh my
sets.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, those are homemaker arms.
Oh,
Yeah, homemaker.
by the way,
homemaker.
Yeah.
very good. Very good.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you everybody so much for coming and hanging out with us today. It's going to be not Peach's Castle.
I want
And-
to, actually, I want to remind
Uh-oh,
people
uh-oh.
too.
Be
Brian's
reminded.
face.
We started this show during the height of lockdown and pandemics when people could not see one another in person.
Mhm.
And we've come so far in 3 years. We get to see one another at in-person conventions. We get to visit when we go to each other's towns. So how exciting that there's so many other wonderful ways that we get to spend time together now that we know one another.
Absolutely. Oh, so and actually before we go, Wilfred says, if you're Waldorf and Statler, which Muppets are the other members of the cast?
Let's not go there.
Let's try it. Let's try it.
No drums.
You have
Really?
to be Animal.
Yeah,
Blair's
Blair's animal. Moto, I gotta put you like somewhere between Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and Beaker, kind of like both.
Mhm. That works.
Accurate.
Anybody else? I don't know, Cara, from knowing you, I gotta say you're kind of a Janice.
I was going to go there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go there.
I feel like I could be like a Fozzie or a Gonzo. I don't know.
Yes, a Fozzie. Yes, I am.
Do you like chickens? How much do you like chickens? That's what
I'm a chicken guy.
There you go.
I definitely I see you more as a Fozzie for sure.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. All right, Holly, that leaves you. She's
I
folding
don't-
her arms. She's like,
I don't know. I've always related mostly to animals. So
okay.
Another face of Animal.
Yeah, there you go.
Frog here.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out. Thank you, Brian, for coming and being our guest today, and of course, all of our cast of irregulars. Great to see you all and everybody in the chat. And don't forget, until next time, our 3-year sign off. We're still saying it 3 years later. Don't forget to be safe, be healthy, wash your hands, wear that mask when and where you still need to, get all those shots and things. And we will see you next Sunday for our build along of the Magical Unicorn. Bye, everybody.
Happy building.
Keep on trucking.